Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghosts and Spirits Special Edition video. Well, I have here another video dedicated to one of my recent tours that I took just this past month or so. I just took actually two tours. One was a tour in Vegas, and that's going to be this video here. And then just this past weekend I took another tour there in Tyler, Texas, and I'll dedicate a new video for that soon. But in this case, this has to do again with the tour I took in Vegas. Phenomenal tour, absolutely amazing. It's called the Haunted Vegas Tour and Ghost Hunt, and all it is essentially is it's a couple of stops within Vegas itself, and then that way you get to see some of the known haunted locations, do some couple of EVP sessions, and I'll include a whole bunch of pictures located for that here. I actually took one of their sister tours also last year. This one though is the one that went to Good Springs, and you have my video that I did on that a couple months back. I'll include the link for it below in case if you wanted to take a look at it. But yes, this company does two tours, Haunted Vegas Tour and Good Springs Tour Ghost Hunt, and I recommend both of them. Very, very good stuff. What's amazing too is that these tours, they're reasonably priced. I think this one was about $89 or so, plus tax of course, but it comes with free pizza, and also you get to pretty much stay close to around 3 to 4 hours because it started at around 8:30ish, 9 o'clock or so. And we didn't finish until past close to midnight. So very, very good stuff. Highly recommended. So what was this Haunted Vegas tour? Well, it's a tour that starts off in a hotel, and you're looking at a picture of it here. I think it was the Terra Vista. Can't exactly remember the name of it exactly, but it's a hotel that's located just off of the Strip there in Las Vegas by the Planet Hollywood area. And you just basically meet up there with the tour guides, and then they take you in one of their vans to the location. So that's what makes it pretty cool too. You do not have to bring your own transportation per se, like what I did is I just walked straight to the hotel. But after that, they take you in one of their vans, so you don't have to worry about driving elsewhere. Especially if you're like me, due to Vegas, you have no idea where the stuff is at. They'll take care of that for you. The hosts, by the way, were phenomenal, very, very amazing. One was a lady named Randallin. She was amazing as well. She was just really excited, very passionate about her touring. You can tell that she definitely loves doing this. And then the other one was a gentleman named Draven, who I met at the Good Springs Hotel. I'm sorry, the Good Springs Ghost Hunt last year. And so here he was for this tour as well. So it was great to see him as well. Both of them very dedicated to their craft. Both of them ghost lovers, ghost hunters as well. They even have their own website that I'm gonna probably do a entry sometime soon. I don't know if I'll even do like a live stream with them next time I'm in Vegas. That's gonna be my ultimate desire sometime later this year. So be on the lookout for that. Who knows? You guys may actually get to see me on a live stream if things work out right. So if you ever wanted to see, I guess, how it looked like or anything along those lines, this would be your opportunity. So be on the lookout for that maybe sometime later this year. But yes, so it started there at the hotel, and then we went straight on the van. First stop was the Flamingo, and this is because, and you're looking at the pictures of them here, this is a location that houses Bugsy Siegel's ghost and apparently some other apparitions too. It was a huge mob influence hotel, the first one essentially that started it all when it came to Las Vegas, and of course Bugsy started it in turn, and so he's known pretty much like the godfather of the casino world there. It's the only known place, and you're looking at the statue here that has a memorial dedicated to a world known criminal. So only known place in the world that has that. It's considered good luck too to be able to put some coin or some kind of change within the memorial, which I did, and it works. It absolutely works. Could it be just pure coincidence? Who knows? But I ended up winning big in Vegas after I put that in coin in there. So highly recommended. If you're there at the Flamingo, go to this memorial, put the coin in, pay your respects, I guess, and then you'll be granted good fortune thereafter. But the way the story goes is his ghost haunts this location because even after his death, everyone knows his history of him. He was killed there in the hotel. His ghost haunts that location to this very day, I guess, reminiscing with regards to past times and then favorite time periods, who knows, but he still haunts that location, especially near that memorial and near the water grounds, which you're looking at the picture of here. I didn't really catch anything necessarily, but it was still pretty nice, pretty beautiful hotels. I might stay at it later on, if but for the fact that it's way up north, not too far north, but way up there when it comes to accessibility. So to me, it's still about convenience in Vegas, and I'd much rather stay on the strip closer to everything else, but who knows, I might change things later on. So there we were, we hopped back in the van, and then we went to one of the first parks that we visited. I can't remember the name of this park, but it's notable because it has, in this case, some entities that we may have come across. So we got out, we were given some equipment. You're looking at some of those pictures here, standard ghost hunting equipment, the one that lights up whenever there's a presence of a ghost, lights up with those red lights, and then makes that knob or dial, whatever is the case, light up as well, indicating that there's a huge spike of its presence. We went to a location that you're going to see a bunch of pictures now. This location apparently houses an unfortunate story. There was a woman that was killed. Her boyfriend killed her. Didn't kill her here, but took her to this park and then dumped her body here. Like, her body was found later on, just completely out of the blue. An unfortunate circumstance. There she was, murdered, and she was left just as is, I guess, to the wild. Eventually, though, her body was found. I don't know what happened to her boyfriend. If I remember correctly, Randall and Draven said that he left the States and went back, in this case, to Mexico, never to be found ever again to this day. But her ghost still stays at that location. And the reason for this place being haunted too is because way back when in the 1800s, this used to be a location for a cemetery. So lots of burials are housed here. So in fact, some of the bodies apparently are still there, because it's considered too time consuming, too costly, too, I guess, out of the way to try to remove the bodies. Most of them were removed, but some of them that were just never found, like a lot of the bodies that were left there way back when, were left as is. Like, they were not marked with any kind of grave, they were just buried deep. So it's too much trouble to try to find them now. So there they are, still haunting that location. But the ghosts were the ghost hosts were stating that there were various circumstances when people come here, like they see shadow beings, they hear noises, they hear whispers, voices as well. Sometimes they even have physical contact, close to it at least, because some of the rocks have been found to be standing almost like in a pyramid-like fashion whenever they come across it. It's the ghosts making their presence known. And then I captured this. Look at this picture here. You can clearly see an orb transitioning, in this case from the bottom to the very top of the frame. This is one of my best shots yet when it comes to capturing these things. But if you thought that was cool, check out this one right here. This is the creme de la creme. This is probably the best picture that I've ever taken of an orb just yet. It is clearly an orb. It can't be anything else. Perfect circle. It's a fading look as it's traveling, in this case, from bottom right to top left. Just perfect frame. You couldn't have asked for a more better picture when it comes to its presence. What was this orb associated with? Who knows? It could have been that lady that was unfortunately killed. It could also be this. The hosts were telling that there's a spirit that now follows them from Good Springs, again the location I was at last year. His name is Edward. He's a bad spirit. He's someone that was a pedophile that killed two young boys, and I think either got killed himself or killed himself outright. Either way, though, he's dead. Of unnatural causes, and his ghost even to this day still lingers around Good Springs, but it has attached to the host and then follows them here. We encountered him on this tour right here at this spot because there was a circumstance. We were doing EVP sessions, and we were as clear as day asking questions, and we were talking to the young lady that was killed. I think her name was Mariella, something like that. I think it was Mariella. And clear as day, 100%, just uninterrupted, we heard a male voice suddenly say, "Get out." Like, it was that fierce. Not necessarily like the stuff you hear like in the horror movies, The Exorcist or anything like that. No, but it was still pretty intimidating. It was telling us to get out of that location. And then that's when the host immediately asked, "Edward, is that you?" And that's because he, in turn, of course, does not like EVP sessions. He has told him as such. He doesn't like their presence either. And yet, here we are, in this case, doing this again. In their case, they're doing it on a daily basis, so they have to run into him that often. But yes, those are some of the circumstances that we ran into this particular place. So it was quite interesting to see this park there in Vegas. It's a little bit of ways. I think this is and this near the outskirts, close to Henderson. I don't know the location, the geography in Vegas. I'm still a little confused other than the strip itself, but that was the next stop. Then we did a couple of more stops. One was to the what is that gentleman's name? Red Fox home. We didn't actually go inside or even outside the home. We just stayed in the car or the van. It seems like the owners of that property, which are an insurance company, if I'm not mistaken, they don't take too kindly to people searching that home. It's a private residence, it's a business residence, a private property, in other words. And so we couldn't get out to do some kind of investigation, but we at least stayed inside this EVP session, so no real photographs from there. Then we did a trip to Liberace's former museum. Nothing is there now because it's long closed, but we stayed out in the parking lot in the van trying to communicate, at least hearing some history of it. I can't remember if we did EVPs or not. I don't think we did on that one, but the whole reason for that is next we went here. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the Fox Ridge Park. I believe that's how it's said. It's located there in Henderson, Nevada, and it's probably one of the most famous hauntings in Nevada itself. There's the story of a young boy who was killed in that park as he was chasing a ball. So either he was chasing the ball just out of the blue and then running into traffic, or some car was not paying attention and hit him by accident, who knows, but he was killed, and his ghost still haunts this park, in particular these swings that you're looking at right now. So these swings are supposed to move on their own, especially from our perspective, the right hand one, the one that has the red ball underneath it. That's the one that he houses his presence. And the way the story goes, if you go here late at night, especially closer to the witching hour, if I'm not mistaken, then you're supposed to see a boy swinging on that set. And then when you get close to it, it changes to something completely different, like almost monstrous, demonic, growls at you and then just disappears. But yes, that is the legend of this park. That's the spirit that houses here. There's one more spirit that is also known here. I think it was another person that was killed. Someone that the way it was described was playing some kind of dumb traffic game, like they were drunk and they thought they could go out into traffic and beat oncoming cars, and of course they ended up getting killed. And so they in turn live now as a ghost in this area. But we visited this particular bridge. I'm sorry, this particular swing set, and while there, we laid down the flashlight. We did some EVP sessions. I didn't quite capture anything like an orb per se, but the flashlight did flicker on and off. It was not supposed to. It's a flashlight. It just turns on. But this one, it started strobing. It was quite weird, quite curious to see it, because it was as if this boy was making his presence known. Unfortunately, we did not see the swing set move, nor did we see the balls move, because the balls were placed there as a form of a trigger object to try to make sure that this boy could reminisce about his younger days. But no, nothing occurred on that. But I did capture this. Check this out. Doesn't this look weird? There is or was no light on the right hand side there. No light at all, other than my own camera light. But my camera light did not create that. You've seen from the previous pictures what my camera light does. It creates just a flash on the bottom of the ground in this case. Nothing in terms of the top right hand corner. And yet there is a very, very strong white presence, a white light right on the top right hand corner. I showed this to the tour guides and they said, well, that's an orb that was just right there, right on the top corner of my camera lens, and then that's why that was captured. So that was quite eerie. I've never seen something that bright within my camera lens, like within the proof there. So that was also another encounter that we had. That was about the closest thing to anything I could show proof while visiting there at the Fox Ridge Park. But that was it. Once we finished that location, then it was back to the hotel, Tuscany Hotel. That's what it was called. My apologies. It was called the Tuscany Hotel and Casino. And then we were on our way. So otherwise, a really great tour. Highly recommended. These are new stops, apparently. From what I've heard, the place going to the parks, both the one with the murdered lady and Edward, and also the Fox Ridge are new. And then with regards to Red Fox's own place, that was another location that they kept from their previous one. So new locations, in other words, if you wanted to try it out. Highly recommended. Do take the tour. Instead of spending that $100 on the casino, save that 100 and then spend it here and have a good couple of hours of entertainment to take care of that evening. Very, very good stuff. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.